Oh, you're right, we do. So the draft is up, and as you can see, there's a penalty because one of them had to use the water closet, a.k.a. the bathroom, a.k.a. they probably had a deuce. But nonetheless, they're here, and they only lost 20 seconds for it. And I'm sure it's not going to be too much of a game changer. I mean, I would rather lose 20 seconds than feel uncomfortable. So
30.
30 seconds?
Yeah. 30
Oh,
seconds.
okay,
I was
my
trying to
bad.
do the math there. I was like, 70 now. I was like, wait a second.
Australian math.
That's why I became a Dota caster.
American math.
So there's a drow ban
Any
like you were
math?
talking about, Ben.
Okay, Andrew, ban
phase.
first.
Just right out of the gate. You know what? We don't want to play a drow game. Boom.
I thought they might not do it at their first pick, but
I think Liquid just, it's not like a top strat for them. Like first picking a drow is kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's like an easy win though, because then you'll force the opponents to ban it if you're. Whatever, no big deal. So what other heroes do we have to talk about? Wisp, maybe.
I think IO is a big one for both of these teams for sure.
IO, Jarek's hero is the Earth Spirit, of course. There's still been a bit of Ricky, even with the nerfs. Kuro's played it quite a lot.
Lifesteal has fallen off a lot.
But Liquid still have faith in it, I feel, to some extent. But he has fallen off quite a bit.
I think both teams play it though.
I think Liquid could just open with anything. I mean, earlier today was Coddle Morphling, first two picked.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like they picked those fourth, fifth. It was like, screw it, we'll just pick them up and stuff.
It is still upper bracket. Like, we haven't seen them lean on anything comfort like Matuba Lycan yet.
Liquid might want to ban. I think would they like
really
Wings
wrong.
loves their Elder Titan though. Love.
Well, no Mirana to go with it. That was what I think one of the games I saw at Nanyang was the ET Mirana plaguing that mid lane.
Yeah, that's cheesy for sure. But it's going to be on Wings now for their next
So are they going to give away the IO? What?
And Liquid, obviously, Jarek's known for playing IO for a long, long time, but it's not like always been a must-go-to when it's left in the pool. And similarly for Wings, it's like when they don't have the Dro, they actually don't pick IO quite as much.
Okay. So they deny the Titan.
SD terrible.
Whoa! Wings Gaming. There it is.
Okay.
Hi, we're Wings Gaming, and we're going to do something you've never seen.
So how does Ogre work with SD? Like, I don't. There's not like synergy between these heroes, is
doesn't.
there?
I mean,
He's
I
the mid
guess
laner.
Like what you pick Ogre, like you've got Bloodlust, so you beef
Soul
up your
Catcher.
carry. You don't know what the carry's going to be.
I think it's just the hero to counter roam against the Elder Titan.
Yeah.
More so.
So kind of like I mean, the other Earth Spirit, the Ricky's out.
He's a super. They're both.
Spirit Breaker's kind of a similar type of hero, but
I would say they're both super effective solo zoners as well for the safe lane, so they can roam pretty freely.
did Ogre get
or
buffed in
farm.
B?
Slightly,
He
yeah.
must have, because that's like one
Not
of
in
the worst.
B. He did get it in.
No, not in B, but yeah, 688. Yeah.
6.8.
He got
like
even
one of the worst
more-
heroes in the previous patch. Or
I think he's pretty decent. He's like
What did they buff? Was it?
it was the
Bloodlust
it was
and
like the
Ignite?
multicast delay and the bloodlust.
Oh, right,
Wait, did
right.
bloodlust man cost get reduced?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
50
Oh, yeah.
now from
50.
75.
Okay, yeah, that was actually B.
I knew a number.
that was 6
Yeah.
8 8.
I think I'm pretty sure that was B, and then A was.
The multicast interval. was
multicast
a
interval.
good-
He's
good
just
buff.
as fat as he ever was, too. Well, you can't deny that. He's still got all that armor, all that health, and he can be great at, bodyguarding runes, being a zoner. Look at that guy. He's like, I'm about to beat some ass.
I hope for Matumba's sake. He was a little bummed at his first series performance against Had Phenom, so I hope he performs well in this series.
I like the pink headset.
Your bias.
His Huskar game was good, but the other two games looked a little shaky for sure.
All right, what's Kuro hovering over? Move your mouse. Give us some info.
Terrible 8? No. Back. Enigma? No.
Hogna?
It's not his
Hogna.
pick.
Tide.
Tide Hunter.
Okay, so
Cool.
Phoenix is standing out now for the Tide pickup.
For
alongside the
Wings?
Void for Liquid, I
Oh,
think.
for Liquid, yeah.
But
Phoenix.
it's-
Yeah, it'd be like a 5-position
Yeah.
Phoenix. It's like kind of so-so.
yeah, they'd lack Disable for sure.
The Shadow Demon was a really smart pick though, because Elder Titan's really good versus like the Terrorblade and the Morphling, and then Shadow Demon's also really good against Terrorblade and Morphling. Because if they take the Elder Titan, then they're very likely to pick one of those two up.
I want to see some K-God Rubik for sure, man. That'd be nice.
I think their safe lane would have issues if it were a Rubik, although.
A lot of good stuff for the Rubik in this one. though.
Depends what. There's no jug. Maybe if you had like an Ursa against the Tide, but
Ursa
that.
Void.
yeah, I don't think you want that.
Huskar.
Ooh.
Huskar's still good versus Tide.
Dazzle Huskar's still in the pool.
Or Oracle.
Yeah. Dazzle and Oracle both there.
Huskar's good for both sides, I think.
But as you mentioned, Phoenix probably the most like clear
just think
cut.
it's like it's
one
like a
for
very
Liquid.
liquid type of pick.
All right, a lion.
Maybe they want a hero to deal with like the SD illusion spam because there are a lot of options for wings. The Morph and the TV aren't as good versus the Elder Titan, but Luna is still pretty good versus ET, I would say. And they could easily run that. We saw one of the teams run it versus Faceless Void anyways too. That was Fnatic.
I like how Wings Gaming, the title of their team name is just The Wings Gaming,
Yeah,
all in
yeah,
lowercase.
The
It, looks,
wings.
it matches like
They're
their
just as
little-
basic as their shirts and
I
their
love their
uniforms. There's like, we're Wings. Here's a gray shirt with some ironed-on lettering. Hi. Oh, by the way, we win some tournaments or something.
It just looks like these like urban streetwear that
We-
just like a casual T-shirt.
And at any given moment,
Have you actually seen them? They've got a zipper going down the side.
Wait,
It's
what?
hilarious.
Their
Yeah.
shirt does?
What?
What's the point of
It's
that?
a T-shirt with a zipper.
Maybe they don't wear deodorant and they have to air
you
themselves
need
out.
a
you
little
know?
bit of ventilation.
I was
like-
telling their manager how much I like one, and he's like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And he just starts like zipping his shirt. I'm like, "Whoa!"
Like, whoa, hold on. What are you showing me, buddy? He's like, this is where I get my
Okay.
kidney out. What?
All right, Ben, Luna.
Oh, SD Luda.
SD
So-
Luna.
Eh,
saw this
that's
in
expected.
Onion.
They already prepared for it with the lion pick, so I don't really.
Luna's not great into Void. I feel though.
It's all right. Fnatic did it. It's okay. Good enough.
Screw you.
Got a lot of magic damage with the Eclipse now, which is something you always want against Timbersaw, not to be too reliant on physical damage.
Benefits all those glaives. Gets those reactive armor up a bit. And, you know, do a lot of attribute damage to someone like Tide and Ogre.
So I think for your position one, you want a hero that's not very countered by Shadow Demon. So I guess Morphling, not really my ideal ban for wings. I don't think that Liquid would have sprung for it. I think Shadow Demon players in general love playing against Morphling.
yeah.
What other heroes are there?
There's still a TV.
And something I could maybe go with the Void, because right now you don't have...
Yeah,
well, I
you-
guess you've got Earth Splitter, but
Slark? Is Slark bad?
Earth Splitter, Chakram...
I like TV or Clinks for
Slark's-
Liquid.
I don't like TB so much. I think the TB meta gets also owned by Tidehunter, as well as being
True,
poor
there's a
against Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Slark, though. Pretty good against the Tide. You can get a lot of easy Essence Shift charges. And
I mean, I guess they have enough damage.
I don't
for
like
the other three.
I don't like
with
Slark because of the
Chrono.
void. Like there's not that
Yeah,
much
yeah,
damage in
there's-
Chrono.
there's-
That's
nothing
exactly the
but-
point I was trying to make.
There-
But-
I mean, at first I thought that, but then you look at these other three
Yeah.
heroes too.
Chakram,
Chakram,
Finger.
Earth Splitter plus Void.
Earth
like
Splitter is
Earth Splitter
pretty good.
Void, like that alone justifies a Void pick. Even if you pick a melee carry, I feel like it's okay
Yeah.
if you've got Earth Splitter.
I think with all the single target, that was very hard versus the Shadow Demon. I think you need a hero that can kill the Shadow Demon very quickly.
Slark is kind of in that category though. If you manage to find him with the Shadow Blade.
but then your team's like running into the Tidehunter.
Does he ever play like, I don't know, Clinks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Clinks. I think like Clinks or Gyro would probably actually like the most.
Gyro, huh? Wow.
Gyro.
Where'd he go? Flew away. Never came back.
Gyro's a great safe lane to have against Tide.
Yeah.
Much as Clinks is.
It's safe. It doesn't really get owned by a Shadow Demon disruption. Because they'll do Huskar, but I don't think they have the defensive support to justify it. Clinks, I still think is pretty good too. Other ones.
Definitely want a BKB carry.
Yeah.
Tide. Sven's again not a great combo with Void, but a lot of teams used to
Yeah,
Sven
Sven's-
Void where you chrono a few heroes and Sven gets like everyone
Yeah,
else.
just to set it up, you know.
Yeah.
And he follows up with his mighty stun, and we have a real party.
What else is Matoma Man like? Lycan I don't like so much here.
Nah, I don't
Glaives
like
own
Lycan
all the
either.
summons. And Tidehunter also owns
Mhm.
Lycan in lane.
AM, but
AM's generally not the hero of choice for
Yeah.
Shadow Demon.
also not that great with Void.
Spectre also not a hero for a Shadow Demon. I think Gyro's actually.
Yeah, I like
my
Gyro
pick.
as well.
Can't think of too many others.
Gyro's very safe. I feel like you dump a lot of damage into the Chrono. You're not worried. Your damage is spread, so you're not worried. Well, similar, your damage is spread with Dusa, so you're not too worried about the disruption illusions.
Oh, we theory craft about 15 different heroes he could play, and none of them. It's Medusa.
Similar though in nature, you can contribute into the Chrono. You're not too worried about disruption illusions. So
It's not a BKB carry as well.
that's true.
Yeah, but you can
She
just
could.
take it though.
I
She
know,
could get a
it's-
BKB. It's situational for her.
You only get, I think you only get BKB if you're against mass mana burn. Otherwise, you just build stats and tank whatever.
You get a Bloodstone, so you don't get any intel at all. Just go mass stats. Dude, I watched like this serious, like, almost documentary on Medusa not long ago. It was a lot of fun. But,
So-
yeah. Mask of Madness for farming. That would be wonderful.
That I can get on board with.
Mask
because
of
of-
Madness Rapier, that's a
Yeah, you
Slash's
get Mask
Way
of
video,
Mad-
I think.
Yeah.
So is it gonna be Fata for Liquid playing Medusa? in general?
No, I think he's
It'll
the
be
mid
safe lane?
Timbasol
Okay.
and safe lane Dusa.
Okay.
I guess they could swap the lanes up, but Dusa mid, Timbasol safe lane, potentially. Timber versus Tide is decent.
I
What
just
do
have this like
Wings
sneaking
need?
suspicion Wings go like Ursa mid or something, buy a diffusal on him. Team fight like crazy.
Yeah, do you have to ramp things up so you don't risk going too later into the game? They have hard.
I mean, they
it's
still
hard to
have
gank
SD
a
Luna.
Medusa.
I still have SD Luna.
All right.
So.
There's some answers for Storm with Lion Void, but it's overall like it gives them some initiation and catch,
Yeah.
which they're kind of lacking later on, like with Ogre Shadow Demon not having a kind of blink initiation type tool.
Obviously, great to disengage and move around, get away from any scary stone gaze.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, though, gentlemen? If we break it down in the sense of who needs to succeed in this laning stage, how much more important is it to which team, Ben? You gotta
Probably
make it count.
Wings, I would say, because they have less strong team fight. Like Void plus ET is already like very, very strong in terms of team fight.
They
So
can't rest on their high ground as much, it feels.
They also have supports that are like very heavy roamings, like active early game supports too with Shadow Demon Ogre. They're not supports that are going to get a lot of farm and then do a lot later on. Whereas like Lion gets his blink, ET does pretty well with items and just offers a lot of damage later on. So yeah, I definitely agree and think Wings want more out of the early game.
they have Ogre though. Ogre is one of those roamers that have long been forgotten.
Yeah, boots of travel, a Midas, and you'll be underway, ready to go.
That sounds like a Merlini build.
Dude, Ogre's awesome. He's like the.
Is he gonna get mangoes? Like, are you just gonna
I don't
throw
know.
it back to
there's,
that point?
there's a lot of builds you can do with Ogre. He's the
Yeah.
uninvisible bounty hunter.
Man, people stop buying mangoes. I remember we used to count mangoes at the start of the game.
You get drops now, you know. They just save
You can do it for fairy
good old
fires.
days.
fairy
That's
fires,
true.
yeah.
A lot of good cheap items
Too many,
in the game.
yeah,
right
too
now.
many cheap items.
Yeah.
How many moon drops? Raindrops.
Yeah, raindrops are.
Luna
Yeah,
drops.
that's actually
I think I've heard you call those drops like 3 different
Yeah.
names. I love it.
So who do you guys favor though overall? I actually kind of want to lean a bit towards. I wasn't too convinced by the Storm pick, but I still want to lean towards Wings.
I'm leaning towards Liquid. I don't know if they're gonna have enough to stop the Medusa. I feel like she's always gonna just like
Yeah.
hold that stone gaze and be able to just pop it and get the hell out. You know.
High ground's going to be definitely a difficult proposition for Wings. I just feel like they can do it risk-free with the Shadow Demon Luna.
I like Wings' lineup more. I think like the Deuce can just get kited very easily, but I don't know. They have Void in line for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Liquid is much slower pace. Like just looking at their cores, like Dusa, Void, and Timbasol, they're all heroes that need to get farm and levels. Like a bad laning stage could be disastrous for them. And even if they have a decent laning stage, once Wings start running at them with Ravage, with Mech, it's like you could be in trouble. So I
I'm
think Wings will
shaped to a
play
higher order.
very aggressive here.
That's funny because he's really high up on the F&G. Did they say why we're waiting here? Liquid needs a
Toilet.
moment, apparently. Ah, yes, the toilet.
the toilet.
Yes.
Gil Water.
Nerves, you know.
I'm sure that's it.
All right, we got some fins, a couple of masks.
I'm curious how.
That is an old.
We have officially
cosmetic.
banned the Tinker Immortal from use in this tournament.
Yeah, that's real
Slap
unfortunate.
the hammer, no more Tinker Immortal players.
Where do you get that immortal from? Is it a chest?
I think
like
it's the old
immortal?
one. The boots. Is it the Boots of Travel that has the custom march?
No, no,
No.
no, no,
It
no.
was
That's
like
the
a- wasn't it a
teleport.
Shanghai?
It's a
It's a
different
helmet, they said,
Oh,
right?
the helmet.
Yeah, it's a
Shanghai
helmet.
Compendium?
Is it recent? Like,
It's fairly recent.
is it
Yeah,
major?
it's one of the
item?
majors.
Yeah,
It's-
it's one of the majors.
Drop all that money.
I thought it
Can't
was.
play
the
with
What
it.
is that?
That is a molecule
It's an IO, yeah.
of
Of the
iron.
spirits.
What? Oh yeah,
It's a
that's
wisp?
IO.
Of iron.
Why does Wiz have the little?
What is the Bohr model? Bohr
It's probably the
Rutherford model?
C2 ion. That is a backbend for sure.
I like how the Wings
Matrix.
players just put their names as their effigy titles. Innocence, Shadow. They didn't
Boring.
actually. I don't quite really know if they realized it
That's
wasn't
an-
like that. That wasn't what the text field was asking.
That's an
for.
anime pose for sure.
Need Jack for the translations, the effigy translations.
I can read
here.
2 words from that. One is hit and one is you.
That. The message is pretty clear. What about that one? No.
I don't know.
That's a good one. I like that set.
What is that? Weave? What is?
That's the set that I
What
can't get
animation
that I
is that?
want. It's like really rare.
One
You
of
know,
those
the-
perfect world sets or something.
You're like, oh, hey, support players. Here's an amazing set. Oh, by the way, it's very, very rare.
Is that the pipe?
Good luck.
The pipe staff?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
That thing is awesome.
That's actually a really cool set.
Yeah, good for him. So according to Brian, this is nitrogen because it has 7 electrons. The more you know. And it looks like we're going to get back underway here. So let the games begin, gentlemen. It's a best of 3, our final series for today. The winners of both of the series prior, it's Liquid versus Wings, as the winner will be moving on to face OG. Oh, yeah. Let's begin. Someone speak. Please
I'm just
clap.
thinking about the late game. It's like Adusa versus
We
an
just
SD
started,
Luna.
Ben.
I know, but you got to
You're
think about
like,
how they're
okay,
going to win.
We're
Like,
30 seconds in. How's 40 minutes going to go?
Late game is Wings just spamming Shadow Demon illusions
Yeah.
at them, you know.
Yeah.
You think you've got the answer with Lion, but no, they'll find a opening somewhere. You catch the line. That's what the Storm Pick's for. You catch the line, and then you open things up for the illusion push.
All right, so Matama Man.
I see one mango.
Sport, and it's
Okay.
on him.
It's pretty
happy.
unusual with the reactive buff. I think I used to see it before the reactive buff, but not anymore.
I guess more about the burst mana regen when
Yeah.
you want to go for a kill later on.
It's value if you use it right before you buy your arcanes.
Yes.
That is
well, I
some
mean, you can
value
even
thing,
after
though.
your arcanes, you drop your arcanes and then pop it.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's really good on arcane boots heroes. Like I've seen a lot of tides also. You start
True.
with mango, and then before your arcanes, you just pop it.
So it is a Fada Dusa.
Mm.
Going.
I don't know that I've seen him play it
Mid
all
lane,
that
right?
much.
He played it one game at the major.
And it was I think the first time like Liquid had ever played it on Fata as well. I remember a stat coming up like this is like unheard of from Liquid.
A little bit of footsie, but my control will simply leap away here. I remember a certain Liquid team way back when they ran a Medusa mid lane on TC, and they went early Blink to get that Blink Stone Gaze off. It didn't last
Won't be
very
as
long.
effective this
I
game.
saw it in maybe a game.
That's because they had to Sven that game, and then they would just like Sven would come from the front and Medusa would come from the back. But
Just buy Windlace. Easy game.
I don't know. Stonegaze isn't synergized with their lineup at all. I guess maybe a little bit of natural order, but
I dislike it more against the enemies as well. I mean, Storm doesn't care, Luna doesn't care all that much. You can disrupt her.
Yep.
So.
Illusions, yeah, it can kill illusions, but you're not going to pop it just to stop an illusion push.
Mm-hmm.
you can just disrupt the Dusa and own everyone.
Yeah.
Except they got a Lion. Just pop down some of those illusions.
Yeah.
That'll help a bit. And Timber Saw, he can do some work.
I wonder
clear
if
things up.
he's gonna get max mana drain early.
Who?
The Lion.
Oh.
You'll see it sometimes, not very often, but in particular situations, like where you know you're gonna need it later, you might see it.
Okay. Disruption out here as they make their move for Shadow.
You get the body block.
Oh, he got
Oh.
it. He got it. Where the hell are you
Nice.
going? Where are you
That's
going?
huge.
You're going to die. That's where you're going.
That's
Hiroki,
huge.
first blood.
And we saw Wings were really good in those Drow games at protecting their safe lane, like doing these 3v2s when they need to, or TP rotating in Innocence, but Liquid not succumbing to that.
Early on, not a matchup we get to see very often, the Medusa Storm Spirit matchup. For now, Storm going to be doing his thing here, but they both have potential to kind of flash farm a bit in the jungle. Are we going to be seeing it? Probably more so for the Medusa if they build up some stacks for her a bit.
Storm Spirit will
Grind
do
her way
a similar
through.
thing.
I don't think
Yeah.
either hero has kill potential, so they can just both sit
Yeah.
in lane.
Yeah, it's not probably going to be too exciting here without too much outside influence.
That's
We'll
why I was
say.
thinking about 40 minutes in, dude.
Yeah, no kills happening mid.
All right, well, wake me up in 40, I guess. No.
What do you guys think about the decision to leave Y bottom lane? Is it just to help stack Ancients in between as well as apply pressure, or do you really see an opening with a Timbersaw Lion there?
The Timbersaw Tide matchup is really bad for Tide. I think they're trying to make that a little bit better for the Tide and make sure that Lion doesn't get his level 6 as
Ice going
fast.
down.
It's bad for who again? Tide?
It's
He's
bad
dead.
for Tide.
Simultaneous takedowns, though, as they do manage to snag the Timber.
Yeah, Matu will get the experience though, so definitely Liquid favorite. Especially considering they
that's
killed the
good stuff.
Luna already, so.
All right. Looking to zone them back and take away a bit of that pole camp there. Liquid kind of being aggressive on the side lanes.
As far as both, I mean, Tide's trying to have his lane kind of helped as well, but Mind Control seemingly getting a lot more out of his. And I think Void is just a hero that's going to benefit a lot more from that early farm. And can kind of bully. He's key for
4
Liquid in the sense
stacks.
like he's going to be the
Watch
one who
it.
can control the storm later on.
He'll have to step away.
Yeah, he needs to
it's
make sure he
only
gets big because I think the Shadow Demon
Yeah.
is like the most important hero you need to control on Wings side.
And like a Tide can kind of always catch up, but
Aw,
giving
man.
the Void the good early game goes a long way.
It definitely does, and I agree that I think Mind Control will be more effective with the same levels in farm, but they do have a Shadow Demon, so if he doesn't catch him in the Chrono, could perhaps
Yep.
thwart the plan. But I agree, I think Mind Control at level 6 is going to be a lot more useful than his counterpart. Especially that he's less item dependent in terms of getting a good initiation off.
Dang, the level 1 Bloodlust. You'll see a lot of the roamers get like 1-2-0. But
Do you think the reduced mana cost has anything to influence with it, or is it just
I think it's a really good value point regardless.
Yeah.
I personally like the 1-1-1 at level 3, but when you're harassing supports or harassing people in lane, you get the 2 ignite for maximum damage. But
He hadn't used his third skill point yet, so
yeah.
looked like he was trying to wait to see if he would need his stun at all.
What do you think about Medusa? Is it just because of the situation that fought us in, is putting 2 points into the mana shield? Some people feel like you just get the 1 point because that's really, you get the deduction right there. The 40% damage reduction just from the 1 alone. But I guess you're not really farming, so you don't need the split shot.
Well, you
just-
never might get split
Yeah,
shot,
you
really.
sometimes see like a one value point in stats
Yeah.
early on is what at least used to be the build for Medusa.
I think
Yeah.
Mushi gets it. But all in all, it's not that big of a difference.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, there's. We
Against the
can pick on
Stoke.
the small things here.
It's like
Yeah.
player preference, and I feel like the
Yeah, it's
people who
player
still get
You don't
stats on
see the
Medusa, it's
mid-
habit. It's because you used like old school Dota 1 Medusa, you always went stats. So
Yeah.
he's probably just doing it because it's like, oh, you always get stats on Medusa, right?
Mhm.
Not to say it's bad, but it's like whether you have 1 or 2 points in stats or mana drain, it's kind of they do the same thing. They make you tankier.
Yeah, and even more so because you're Medusa. I don't actually know which one gives you more tankiness. Probably the mana shield, though.
Probably mana shield,
but very slightly.
I mean, stats give you +2 damage, so
Yeah, that's good.
that's the trade-off.
More Mystic Snakes.
Yeah.
They do
That's
a lot of work, too.
Been a long time since we've seen CS this even in the early game. Very
It's-
even across the board.
Yeah, and both teams have the dual lane and the off lane. Well,
Just the
that's fallen
supports.
apart now.
Yeah.
With Wings giving up on their bottom lane, but
Disparity is where, you know, Lion and Titan have quite a bit of farm. A little bit less pressured, but all the cores farming almost exact at parity.
So we see Tranks on the Tide. That's actually pretty unusual too, instead of Arcane in the mech. So I guess not really looking to fight so much. Reasonable. I think Liquid has like a little bit more team fight. I don't know if he can do Ancients.
well, you don't have the like mana pool sustain.
Yeah,
This-
especially versus a Medusa. Like, it's a little tough. I think you might want the armor versus the Elder Titan too.
Yeah.
That helps a little bit, I suppose.
It's almost like you need to go back for an arcane boots or a soul ring or something.
I mean, I
No
don't-
tallies.
No tallies.
I
You go 4 stuff instead of blink if you want some intel, but
Stick might be enough.
Oh, making a move here for Faith. Can they get
He
him? The
has
burst up
Ravage,
forward, and he
but-
quickly 180s when the TP comes through. So, heavy harassment here. Does catch him Chakram on the
It's out
way
of
back,
mana,
but
yeah.
yeah, with no more mana, can't really follow through with anything else. But they pulled the Shadow Demon away from his precious top lane here. And that'll be the end of it.
raindrop's good item.
All right, phase for Dusa. You're a man of efficiency, Ben. What do you like about the phase? Natural damage. Why not just power treads where you can efficiently? Oh, hold that thought as they get a nice stop off. There's the snake. There's the kill.
Big kill on Blink.
I was gonna say when you can swap the treads for the snake and get your mana back. You don't like that?
It's okay, but you farm a lot slower. Like Mystic Snake, you actually don't really have mana issues, especially if you get like Satyr camps. You get all your
Or
mana
golems. That's good.
Golems are only 2 that you have to
Yeah,
like.
you split. No, you pull them out. You split. When they split, you can throw the snake. It'll connect on all 4 little spawn links.
Yeah.
Satyrs are the value.
Satyrs are better because you can just
They're-
cast it at the
you
start.
just do
and
it,
then
yeah,
it'll be,
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be done after
Yeah.
you finish the camp.
You can get the big and the medium camp Satyrs too.
Uh-oh. Hello, how you doing there? Pops down the Eclipse. He's going to eat the whole thing, and he's going to be taken care of.
Just a big cooldown though for a support kill. It's nice for Shadow for sure. As long as he doesn't feel pressured. But the Chronosphere is going to be up soon. You know, if they can drag the Shadow Demon to the bottom lane, It's been up. Wow. If they can drag the Shadow Demon to the bottom of the lane like they've done, I mean, he's very vulnerable.
They need more damage. They need like Lion 6 or Timber
here
to
it
be able to
comes.
kill.
It's like
Fata.
Chrono, and then I'm gonna
Chrono
I'm
into
gonna
gaze?
stone gaze and try to get in front of him. Oh, she's facing the other way, but that's a snake.
bash.
Yeah, they hit
Yeah.
pretty hard. Wow.
So we'll
Just
take that.
open the window right up by using Eclipse. I mean, he's probably killed anyways, even if he had it, but...
Yep, it only
Liquid are
costs
playing
one.
very well around Wings' vision. They have vision on mid and bottom, and the 2 kills that they got most recently are on top lane. But I would suspect that they would have wards on the top to protect the Luna a little bit more, because right now she's still very weak.
All right, and obviously the early tool belt of the Timbersaw coming together as he has the Arcane's done. He's about to get the Soul Ring, and he could be ganked here. Disruption, nice cancel from the Timber Chain. He throws out a Desperate Chakram, but they're going to be able to take him down. And with that, will be 4-3. Wings will be able to get a nice little grab on Matama Man here.
Liquid
bit
always
of
making a
opportunity.
trade though, like getting the tier 1 tower top.
Mhm.
We'll see Wings continue to do damage bottom, but
Yeah.
could potentially defend this if you're Liquid, or at least look to find farm elsewhere on the map. Seems to be more the plan right now with
Yeah.
Ravage. Are you TPing to a tier 1 when there's Ravage waiting for use?
Oh yeah, they've
Nasty
definitely
business.
forfeited this one. They will, as you mentioned, pressure the other lanes. Supports can casually farm through the jungle and then get their own lanes to work with here.
Ooh,
And everybody get a little bit of XP. And Mind Control eyeballing opportunity
think-
for the Luna. They know it's a long cooldown. Okay. Uh-oh, something's fishy.
I think Liquid are okay with the tier 1 safe lane trade, though. I think them invading the enemy jungle is going to be a little bit more hurtful than the opposite, just because the Luna and the Storm Spirit want to be in there, whereas Timber, he can farm pretty reliably across the map. Void, the same thing, so...
You stun me, I stun you, but you are heavily outnumbered. Matamaman will show up.
Ravage was late.
Ravage is going to be committed. We'll get both of them, but Matamaman manages to Timber Chain down. Stomp, not quite there, but they are going to be taking down Matamaman. And now the fire back from Mind Control. Right-clicking him down, we'll be able to finish off the Timbersaw here. And now Kuro looks to make chase onto the supports, but back up not close enough, and it's going to turn to a 2-for-2.
I like it for Liquid.
Yeah, I think the Timbersaw kills aren't as important as the Storm or Luna kills, so it's all pretty good. But Wings, they also don't need as much farm on their 2 like scaling cores because they have the Bloodlust, so it might not actually always be such a
True.
favorable trade for Liquid.
They do have Chrono still, though, where I feel they can now get active and not worry about this Ravage.
Die, Luna, die.
Time to do some work in the top lane.
Without finger, but still likely a kill.
Yeah, no Shadow Demon here
Not,
just yet.
not easy kill to get though.
Yep, he's not in strength.
Quick
He's
hex.
not in strength threats. Oh, he did. He swapped it
Right.
before.
Okay, not enough though.
Still has Eclipse if he
And
chains forward.
Timbersaw's not going to be enough. Just right click. Shadow hangs in the middle of the lane, and a help is
Oh, the
here.
Soul Patcher, nice.
Yeah,
play,
turn around
but
back.
nicely
Tama
fought
Man
by
though,
Matumbo.
they got him.
That was some nice
Was-
patience.
I saw them soak up. I'm like, okay, they've got Finger of Death. They're going to go smoke kick Luna. And then I'm like,
No, he
wait,
didn't
there's
have
no
finger.
Yeah, exactly. And when, as soon as I saw them smoke, I just assumed like that's just like a normal like, okay, free kill with Finger kind of gank. But doing that without Finger is really ambitious.
Yeah, he had Chrono too, but chose not to bring the Void up.
And you get that kill if he doesn't have the backup support, but you don't kill him fast enough.
I don't know if you get that kill without this. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
You can chase him down,
Yeah.
unless you. It depends if you hit your chakram or not.
But the lion didn't keep chasing.
Yeah.
So I thought they would have just backed after her.
Yep.
Like she was still pretty healthy. I wonder if she's going to get raindrops too.
Everyone buys Ranger.
Dude, I mean, raindrops is really good versus lion.
Storm has bought his second raindrops already for this game.
More raindrops.
Please.
Or IR, as Lumi would say.
Oh, is that going to be your new name?
Should I just change
IR.
it
What'd
to
he
more,
say?
more raindrops, please?
IR?
Infused raindrops.
Oh.
The acronym.
Infrared.
Ring of Prot.
ROP. ROP.
IRD. Right?
IRD?
Infused
Infused
raindrops.
Yeah, got the ERDs here.
Or just IR.
Irons?
Raindrops is one word, I guess.
Yeah, IR.
IR.
Just call it ERP.
Bird.
4 ERPs here on Storm Spirit as he makes a jump from Matama Man. And just as he goes for the Timber Chain, he gets the Vortex pulled back, but he is but one
Yeah.
man,
I
and
think
that is
you need
reactive armor.
to. I mean, I'm gonna scrub, but I think you need to Remnant for vision there instead of zipping forward. It costs so much to ball lightning.
Dude, Timber's levels are so low. He's only level 7? That is crazy.
I mean, have we seen him like kind of alone farming ever? I feel like he always
He
has
just
company nearby,
died.
or he gets ganked. Yeah,
It's most of the time off the map more than anything.
yeah. He's 2 and 4, so he's been in some action, but on the bad end of more of them. Fata determined to get the finish. Last hit on this
Yeah,
tower, he's going to grab
double
it.
damage.
Aha, he gets it done. Fata will pick that one up. And the rest of Wings Gaming look to make escape. Oh, Faith, you're not going to be able to TP.
Yeah, he's a sacrificial lamb.
And, oh, sorry, sir. Got a chrono for you. And a finger. It will get taken care of. Beyond might be able to make it away here with some help of the Shadow Demon and a disruption.
That's some karma. Like Storm is like, oh, your TP got cancelled. Peace. I'm out. You're on your own. But he dies and Tide lives. Right? Like that's what you get for trying to ditch me. Says the Tide.
It's been a rough game thus far for Blink.
That was really nice by Liquid though. They just like kind of ignored its side looking for the more important target.
Oh, Dragon Lance. Okay.
guess
Just
why not?
stats and range.
Normally you want stats which give you like
Mana,
the all three, but
as well.
it's still.
But I
super
thought
cost
she doesn't really
effective.
have mana problems. Why would you
Well,
need the
mana is HP.
Yeah,
That's why
Yeah, I know.
ulti orbs is super value on the hero. Like any Manta, Lincoln's type items, Skadi is so good because you get
Yeah,
all,
Skadi
you get
is
benefit from all the
fantastic.
stats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But okay, this is 1,900 gold investment for 2 stats you.
They also really need the Deuce that hit towers because she's the only one that can do so.
True.
So like the Dragon Lance is especially important for that.
Mm-hmm.
Normally your Matoma man would, but he's on Timber this game. Probably why he's dying so
Okay,
much.
they're running. Can they get a hold of Precious Lady Luna here? It looks
Plus
like
5 movement
Yeah,
speed.
that
She's
little
too
guy with the cup
fast.
is certainly helping out. Gets the move speed out and she makes it away.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, little
Just
guy.
Casually walking around at
That buff.
425 MS.
Oh, it's a good scan, but and it will actually get them out of time.
They had the Observer War on top, so they saw Luna running back in.
Okay, that's
so
true.
Like they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
why is
She's
she
running back in, and you see no
Is
one
she
behind
crazy?
her.
Oh, stun onto 2 from Jarix here, but
Lion.
Ice Ice is going to be able to commit the purge. Heavy burst damage, force forward. Beyond's going to try to smack him down with the anchor. We'll get it done. And now he's in a bit of trouble. Meanwhile, Earthsplitter is going to be committed. Can they burst down the tide? He's nursing this Ravage. Then pops it off as the jump comes in from Mind Control before he can get it off. There's going to be the dilation now. And, well, Beyond sidesteps the stop, but can't get away from the rest of the burst coming out from Matama Man, so he will fall. But here comes Shadow, popping out the Eclipse.
Still really good for
Runs
Liquid.
it on forward. Fata still stands his ground and tries to get off what pot shot damage he can. Mind Control will commit the chrono, catches out Shadow and Ice Ice, and they try to burst him down from the outside. There is going to be the disruption, keeping him alive for now. And Fata continues to right-click and go to work. Can he get the finish? Yes, he's able to take down Shadow, and now they look to clean up some
A
supports
lot
here.
of stacks of.
Okay.
Okay, not gonna be enough.
And with that, it looks like they finally will get the cleanup for Ogre. He tries to pop up a multi, but it's not going to be enough on the Elder Titan.
Felt like
4
Wing-
go down.
I felt like Wings were a bit anxious there. Ben talked about it in the draft, and I think it was a really key point that the Medusa can just get kited, and they just kind of brazenly walked into a choke, which is the one area where she's not going to be able to be kited around. So I think it was a really nice play from Faith Beyond to be patient with that Ravage, but everyone just wasn't really in position because they're a bit hesitant about going into the choke after he hit it to follow it up. So really nice fight from Liquid overall.
Was he 11 on the Luna? I think like most of the clips
It looked
got
like he was. There was
Yeah.
a lot of beams.
it got tanked by the Mana Shield, and then like a lot of it got backtracked or time walked
All
off.
the heroes it was hitting were tanky and just surviving through. The Timber who dies buys back, but also the Timber had already done his job, bringing the tide pretty much bringing the tide down and forcing out the Ravage.
But they were smart to take the fight to the right side of the tower. I think like normally the fight would take place closer to T2 on the north side, but that's where Luna would walk in and be able to eclipse the supports or during the Ravage, and then they took it like
Yeah.
away from the Luna so that Luna couldn't get there in time to combo with Ravage.
It was a really nice initial stomp as well. Caught 2 and forced Faith Beyond to force down to the south where he was totally isolated out, and then the Ravage wasn't entirely ideal despite hitting multiple heroes.
I didn't actually expect Liquid to steal ET first pick though. It's kind of cool that they did.
Yeah.
Got to get with the times.
Yeah, they're definitely versatile. They've been using it well, so.
And now hold a little bit of advantage here, 11 to 8, and majority of the top net worth swinging their way here as Fata begins to evolve a bit into a core. We saw him pick up the Dragon Lance here, but what do you get next if you're in Fata's position on this Medusa? It looks like potential for what, Lincolns or
Yeah,
Manta?
Lincolns makes sense.
Could just be Scotty.
I mean, there's a lot to pop of Lincolns though, I would think, you know, so got to worry about the follow-up to come after.
I think it's still worth it.
I wouldn't be so sure it's at Lincoln's though.
I mean, all 3 items. Manta against the Eclipse is good. Lincoln's gives you some HP regen. Gaudi's just ton of stats.
And they're going to be fine, like, without having too much damage on her at the moment? Yeah.
Natural
I
order.
think they're
Natural order. I
fine,
guess
yeah.
that's a good point. Does supplement for a little bit like damage by
We saw last
getting
fight.
a bonus elsewhere.
And like you get the lockdown, the chrono, you're
Yeah.
generally fine regardless.
They're really close to the blink on line. He had a buyback last fight though, so but he should be getting it
Yeah.
anytime now.
He's probably at 2K almost. Yeah, he'd been, yeah, as you mentioned, kind of held down at that 1400 area for quite a while.
Storm super poor too. It's died a lot.
Yeah, Blink's had a rough game. Just feels like in general, this hero, it's like people are used to what he's capable of, and they try to get active with him a little bit too often before picking up, Bloodstone. And he just gets really punished for not perfectly calculating initiations. And it happens with
Yeah.
a lot of players.
There's not even really any easy targets, is there, for a Storm? I mean, you're jumping in, Timber's pretty tanky, can Timber chain away. He can time walk away, he can stun and hex. She can pop a mana shield, pop a ult.
I think it's
You know where
just
I'm going with
because
this.
they're like trying to be super active with the storm. A lot of times you'll see storms like just
exactly.
farm up
Exactly.
the Bloodstone and then Orchid and then start fighting around 20 plus, but they're trying to use a storm a lot pretty early, which is more so their playstyle. You can't really.
Yeah, Fnatic did the same thing with mid one, and the same result occurred. He just ended up underfarmed and kind of underwhelming overall in the game.
It just feels weird, I guess, to take a Storm and go, okay, I got a Storm. Now it's farm.
Yeah.
Farm, farm, farm.
It's not that bad though because the Timber Cells died and is suffering even more in terms of net worth than the Storm Spirit. So what is Medusa going for? She bought her second bit. Okay, Lincoln's.
Yeah.
Aight.
I don't know. I mean, Ogre can do a lot of Lucent Beam and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You got to be careful.
Just like she's gonna be backline for the most part, so I don't know that you're gonna
That's true,
You're
yeah.
right. There's a lot to pop it, but it's always
you
value.
do have like a Timber who's going to be in your face, kind of disrupting things a
Like,
bit.
Medusa's one of the few heroes it's value on, even when it's not about the damage block, because you
Yeah.
benefit a lot from HP mana regen too. Like I've seen Mushi get Lincolns when there's nothing to block on the other team. He's obviously like the extreme as far as he'll always build those same items, but you block a Lucent Beam, that's still blocking damage.
Even the disruption,
with Mushi.
storm initiation.
No single target spells. Okay, let's get Lincoln's anyways.
It just looks cool.
Yeah. No magic damage.
So
Okay,
both
let's get
Bloodstones are
BKB.
out now on the Timbersaw and the Storm Spirit.
Who's going to get more charges?
Yeah, we'll see who loses their first charge.
Who's more anxious to make charges happen? All right. It looks like it could be possibly Liquid.
What does Tide have?
Smoking head up.
Force staff he built.
Force
Yeah.
and
What does he have? He had that long time ago.
Oh, energy. He had the casual energy booster. Interesting.
Man,
You
this
actually
is a
turn that
strange
energy
build.
booster into anything? It's just
Ether Lens, of course. With Gush.
extra range on Force Staff and Gush.
Yeah.
Like God said before, even with similar net worth, it just feels like the Void right now is just more effective.
I like the Force Staff though, because it helps out the Storm a lot.
It's good against the Stomp as well. You can force your teammate back.
Yeah.
Nice little,
Now the illusion spam begins.
yeah, offensive Luna here to kind of move forward and got that Navi Courier. Mind Control catches it from behind. Wings still determined to make their advancement as they take down this tier 1 in the mid lane. Liquid looking for a possible setup play here on the follow-up.
I hope for Wings' sake they don't overcommit as much here, even if they force Liquid to tip their head. Maybe kite the Stone Gaze and then re-engage.
Or the idea is to just keep doing this very safe, cautious
Right.
push with illusions. Luna at most is on the front lines, and you can see the heroes behind. No one's grouped for the Chrono. Ogre's in one spot, Storm's further south, Shadow Demon's further back, Tide's in another. You can't even hit more than one hero in a Chrono with the positioning of Wings most of the time.
But Liquid want to take a fight where they have their Observer Ward. It's on the river, and Wings want to take a fight like closer to the tower. They have the advantage with the Lunar Blessing Night Vision. And the mass army of...
This tower is actually taking some hits here.
And fighting in the open fields is going to just kind of guarantee a better Eclipse.
But now they have vision on the Shadow Demon in the
Oh.
back.
They saw him.
Oh, a surprise! Hop in
First
Ravage right
Mind
now.
Control, but they-
Big zip.
There's the Liquid's pop. Fada quickly goes to the Stone Gaze, and Wings walk away here, but they're going to get caught up with a Chrono. Two of them will. And there's a jump in. Mind Control, Chakram, Earth Splitter, connecting nicely here. We'll be able to do work for the Ogre, but the fire back. There goes the Eclipse, dishing out some work, but they're only able to bring down Matama, but now the follow-up from Mind Control as he gets the secondary kill here. Faith Beyond is going to have to Force Staff away, but he's being chased by 4 Liquid members. Goes for the TP.
Nice.
He finds a spot to make it out.
again, the Ravage was good, quote unquote, hit a lot of heroes, but just no real follow-up.
He had an idea where he saw the Void, and they wanted to burst the Void before Chrono, because
Yeah.
I think that's the one way Liquid can take a fight if you don't have that Earth Split Chronosphere. He hit the Ravage on Void, but there's no follow-up stun from either the Vortex or the Ogre. Without that follow-up stun, they couldn't get that kill.
Really nice first usage of the Blink as well from MC, catching those two heroes, forcing them into the Stone Gaze, the Earth Splitter.
The coordination from Wings just wasn't there with the initiation.
Yeah.
They didn't play their position well. They fell back into the ward, and the supports got cut out by the Chronosphere.
Bloodstone charges. He's
No.
already lost some.
Bring him down.
That's a lot of deaths.
It's been a rough day for him overall.
His Morph also was
Yeah.
pretty heavy on the death count as well.
By illusions.
It's okay. They still have Fata, who's now sporing top net worth. Never mind, he's second. Don't care about him anymore.
We're
It's all about Luna now. Luna's stock is up.
Oh, back to Fata.
All right, now Fata's the king. So, 2,500 gold in reserve. Link is already done. Now where do we go from here for Medusa? And you're looking at what's happening with the rest of the team, and you know, do you still feel okay about not putting so much damage? Do you go maybe for like a Scotty, let's say, and just really
Yeah.
bulk up hard?
Yasha or Scotty, both are
Yasha.
standard and fine. Good damage.
Dakota's
Yasha.
unimpressed.
Scotty or something.
Yeah,
guess.
I think the
Break your
damage.
ages. Let's do it.
Yeah.
MKB? I don't know.
I think the damage
don't think you go
profile's
MKB.
diverse
Well,
enough
yeah,
from
but
Wings.
Butterfly
that you
could
go
come.
Scotty.
Butterfly, I think, is like a fifth item.
After.
Oh, I meant for. Oh, well, hold on here. Looks like Matama Man. I mean, he may make it away. He's fine. Mind Control drops a Chrono, and Fata drops a Stone Gaze. And with that, they're going to be able to easily shred that Luna down. Shadow Demon also drops. And unfortunately here, Blink can't blink. He can't jump. He can't make it away because the guy has no mana. He's got time dilation. And, well, he does end up getting the suicide off, but his team begins to just kind of crumble one after the other here. Liquid continue to look strong.
Yeah, Matuma's not the problem. They just keep killing off this Timbersaw, who's not really the issue for them right now. And
Yeah.
it just feels like, I mean, it's of course much easier said than done, but that one tool that you have to make sure the Stone Gaze is actually effective, and the Earth Splitter for that matter, is the Chrono, and they keep just kind of overextending and walking into it.
They're supposed to have the Orchid on the Storm by now, though, to deal with the Faceless Void. Because
Yeah.
Faceless Void got, what, like Vlad's Blink? I don't think he has Diffusal or Manta yet, but he's like a little bit too underfarmed on the Storm Spirit to control the Void.
Yeah, reverse Caster's Curse. You know how he's underfarmed, he's able to snag up a kill here, and they're gonna, well, eyeball towards a follow-up.
He'll get it soon.
That's
And,
Ravage,
there
but
we
Lotus
go.
Orb. I like this pickup against the time dilation. It also helps protect the Storm from the Lion.
Yeah, so
It
it's
gets rid of
definitely very
ET
good.
Stomp as well, I guess. Don't know on that one.
I do not believe so.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I don't think you can. Oh, she's going for BKB. So yeah, after that last fight, that's a good call.
I think you just have to get it against the ET ultimate. Well, I guess if you're in Courtesy, you may not get DKB off anyways.
I think you need to versus Timber. Yeah, they need to be able to find this Void. This Void is just owning with the Chronos.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of eclipses like die with half duration still remaining. So.
All right, Matama Man letting him know he's here. And there's going to be a disruption for Fata, which could help them zone him back a bit. Mind Control decides to jump on in. Only
they
going to
have
be able
the
to catch
Ravage.
Blink, but the Roche is so low. Wings don't want to be pulling off from this one. Storm will be going down, doesn't have a buyback. And there's going to be the Ravage committed. Faith Beyond wants to go in there and get the Roche. Can he get it? He can. He grabs up the Aegis for himself, but Liquid are in firm control of this fight. It could easily make Wings pay, and that seems to be the case. They begin to crush down 3 now. They'll get 4. And, well, he has his Aegis and he has his life, but the rest of his team, they're gone.
I mean, half the Eclipse was all on Fata there again, and it's just like, it's really the bulk of their damage on top of this Ravage, and yeah, they don't have much on top of it.
Liquid didn't even hit the finger, it hit the Stone Gaze, so it did no damage, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Chronos have been consistently been really nice. Immediately eliminating the Storm from the last fight. Stone Gaze controlling of the Luna. Like their ultimates like can't really get handled by BKB.
With all the Phoenix nerfs, it actually feels like ET's a better partner for the Void than the Phoenix is these days. Just that Earth Splitter with the amount of damage it does when it lands.
Natural order.
Yep.
Yeah. pipe for Timbersaw. He's going for the team fight. Medusa's going to go Butterfly.
All right.
Evasion is like kind of so-so here, but
Yeah.
it's good stats. It's
Yeah.
pushing.
I guess she doesn't get focused at all, so why not?
Okay. Well, some hefty bursts. This is Wings just trying to kind of get some momentum back their way, but it's not working out so well. They'll lose Storm once more, and Faith Beyond's like, oh no. It's trapped between a Deadsman Alley, but oh, hey. Oh, forces to the high-low ground. Somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle of these trees. Will end up going down, and I don't think he's going to make it away, gentlemen. He's not.
This game's gone south.
Yeah.
This hero, the Storm Spirit, I have not seen him perform well in competitive in a good couple of months.
I don't think they itemize well versus the Void and the Dusa.
Yeah, you're going against time dilation. It's a rough spell too.
For which heroes?
Like, I think they need armor and magic resistance, not Force Staff and Lotus. Like, if a hero gets chronoed, those don't do anything versus the Chrono and the Stone Gaze, which are already, like, their biggest problem. I guess Stone Gaze maybe is dealt with by the Force Staff, but the Tidehunter has a lot of items. Like, he could be... I think like solar cresting a target is very, very important during the Chronosphere because a lot of it is from the Void and the Dusa. It also helps a lot versus the Natural Order. You'll mostly see people build armor items versus it.
Same for like having a mech just for the storm.
Yeah.
Like having
Same for
blink
having a
mech,
mech.
like a standard blink mech.
Yeah.
would've Maybe helped out a bit more.
And if he's really worried about time dilation, he can get Greaves at least for himself. And then they have the BKB. BKB is also not very useful versus the Stone Gaze or the Chronosphere, but he's kind of getting it for the Lion and the Timber, which have not really been that big of problems for
You
them.
get to randomly get an energy booster anyways just for his mana pool, which is
Yeah,
like,
that's-
because you have Tranquils, you can't actually farm Ancient stacks or farm Jungle because you don't have the mana pool.
Just
so.
buy 5 raindrops. 40 mana. You'll use them all at some point.
What? Herbs? Okay.
And then now ET has a medallion, so like they're gonna have huge armor issues at this point too.
Yeah, there's that Solar Crest on the wrong team. Good for the Dusa with the Dragon Lance, just kind of throw her at the buildings.
She already has Butterfly, though.
Yeah, she is. She's doing a lot of damage. They can't touch her at all.
They've shown a lack of damage even before those pickups, so
So
it's not boding well.
late
for
game
Wings.
plan for Wings, just spam Disruption Illusions at your opponent's base.
They have Lion
Rat them
though.
down.
Yeah.
Get that Luna. They're going to try. Chrono sets it up, and they just slowly
the,
whittle her away.
Yeah, they've got the Shadow Demon on the south side, so
They try to Lotus at the last second. Now
There
it's
is no plan B.
Beyond's turn next. One by one, they will make them pay. Wings Gaming, unfortunately, way up against the ropes. And with the burst there, Fata now dominating on his Medusa.
one very, very slight silver lining for Wings is that Liquid suck at sieging, but
I thought you were about to say, oh, it's a 3-game series.
I kind of felt that too.
I was like, silver lining. Okay, where are we going?
Yeah,
with this?
what's the silver lining here?
I mean, they're in sunny LA. You
It's
know,
like
they
a
could be
game.
somewhere. They could be somewhere cold right now. That's the silver lining.
Silver lining is, I'm sure Fast and the Furious is on Netflix, so they can enjoy that when it's over.
They could be in loser bracket already.
silver lining is they'll have their full reserve time for the next draft.
That, you know what, we can always draw back to that. That bathroom break. Cost them in this one. In all seriousness, Liquid definitely showed that they had a formidable setup and a way to rally behind this Medusa, regardless of how the game went for Matama Men or not. And now with Wings, they continue their attempted defensive assault, but it is going to be a bit flaccid.
I think the Void was a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Because they killed the Luna in lane, and they also like controlled her every single team fight with the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
Void's one of those heroes where you're going to ever take those team fights when you've got Void ET, you have to get the jump on the Void, kill him, and then take the subsequent fight. Like, that's the other reason why I feel Tide needs to blink this game, because it's a reliable blink Ravage on Void and then followed up with the Storm to burst him down.
Yeah, Storm died a little bit too much this game though. What items does he have anyways? Like,
You got the
Finishes
Bloodstone.
Orchid? Okay.
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
got
and Orchid, okay.
I haven't felt the impact of his Orchid this game. Like, granted, I think it's come out a little bit
Yeah.
late, but
Yeah.
I definitely think they could have won with this lineup, and
Yeah, me
they
too.
played.
Did you-
They didn't play that well in the early.
Do you think that they should have just Iron Talon the Tide and shoved the Void? I guess it's easier said now in hindsight, but shove the Void out of lane with the Ogre?
It is easy to say in hindsight.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. They gave the Tide a lot of farm. I just don't really think his item choice was necessarily the best versus this lineup. The Tranks is questionable.
A little bit worried about the Timbersaw, I suppose.
When it worked for Wings, they look brilliant. When it doesn't work for Wings, you're like, ah, they're just trying something different.
Classic Wings.
We need a better nickname for Wings that implies how crazy they are. Like, crazy, it could be novel, or it could just be...
He's he's out of mana by the end of this kill.
Haha, baited by Jarex. Right into a Chrono. Earth Splitter. A lot of hate for the Storm
This feels
Spirit.
very underwhelming, this game. The hero does overall right now.
It's, I mean, going back to like the thoughts, is like we're used to seeing Storm Spirit played a certain way, but just I guess with where the game is now and its meta and how these games kind of unfold, you got to play more of the farm game.
Just at least until Blood.
The hero works when there's like a 4th, 5th pick and there's no control. Like, there's enough control in Liquid that the Storm was going to work if they kind of snowballed, but it didn't happen.
It was probably fresh on their mind too because it was picked a lot in the last series or in the last tournament they were in, but it was also because there was a lot of Drow Rangers. So Drow Storm's much stronger than just Drow or just Storm.
Storm's also really good against the Drow too. It's not a fun hero to play against.
But it's hard to play in a Void. He's hasn't been taking the Chronos, but Luna's just been getting owned as a result.
A lot of farm on Void now. Manta and Diffusal, 2 ways to get rid of the Orchid. He can even get the Orchid off of his teammates. So,
Not to mention Solar, Glimmer, and Pipe in case someone does get focused and Void isn't available to save him.
there's just too many items you need for your cores on Wings.
There's just
like,
too many
You need
items.
an MKB for Luna to deal with the evasion, and you want to have like a Butterfly as well to have some evasion of your own, but then there's already the MKB, but...
And you don't want to be KP.
No.
But you have to get one.
But you do want a
Shivers.
GG sometime soon.
That's Wings. They'll at least have one last hurrah, but... In some ways, Liquid are kind of going through the motions here.
Give me the silver lining.
Yeah, right?
All right, here it is. Here's high ground. Let's see what
All right,
happens.
here it is. Is this the moment Wings have been waiting for? One final hold. One final stand. Wings, will they soar and fly? Or will they crumble and fall? Liquid's here now. They came to play. Faith Beyond leading out the front. Can he hit the Ravage of a lifetime here? He turns back.
It's another thing about the Force Staff is that Spirit can cancel the blink of the Tide pretty often. So
What? He doesn't have Blink.
no, that's what I'm saying. If he
Oh,
was to
yeah.
go blink, so that's maybe his thought
I
process
guess.
on the Force Staff.
Force Staff ravages.
Yeah.
Just slide in there. Slide in there and raise your arms.
Really
Slippery
hard. It's a really hard jump.
But it looks so funny. Go.
Yeah,
One
this-
Rax falls.
All right,
and
this was the one.
Matama
Look-
Man is just the gatekeeper
Look
now.
how far back Jarek is standing. He's like so far back.
He's in a different game.
Yeah.
He's got blink force, so he can cover a lot of ground.
Storm's looking for Jarek, but Jarek is like, I don't even want to be in this fight.
Storm might just have to walk forward and jump in the dark and pray. Okay, no, he wants to go for Fata. There's the pullback. Quickly jumps back and away here.
Just trying to bait a chrono.
And that is going to pop the Stone Gaze. Wings will try to walk back and away. Okay, okay. Round 1.
Well played by Storm, not
Can
getting
he
caught
fight?
by the
Deuce
line.
is almost out of mana.
Yeah, okay. Disruption.
Force Ravage, let's go! Oh, no
back.
force.
He'd have to force it and Ravage. The silver lining is that Deuce is so fat that she can kill her own team with Disruption Oceans.
Yeah, Disruptor.
There we
Or
go.
Disruption, rather. It's scales.
Yeah,
just as good as Medusa will.
You know what the solution to that is? Build Rapier. So you don't get it on illusions. Easy.
Okay.
Do it, Fada.
All right, so they haven't lost yet.
Here's your Aegis to go with that Rapier.
Don't get it. Don't use the Aegis, Fada.
When you'd rather
He has no room.
when you'd rather disrupt the enemy carry than your Luna, that's when you know things are not going well.
And really not much that Wings are going to do to be able to contest this here, but they're creeping that way. And
I
was
can
gonna
hope
say
for
they had a
Rapier, man.
smoke.
Hope for the Rapier throws.
Rapier throws by Liquid.
Yeah, Fada, do it.
Sell.
Sell your
Yeah,
lance.
just sell the. Yeah,
Buy the
sell
relic.
lance.
Who needs boost?
Go out in glory. Golden glory.
As far as like players to have as like the most farmed carry in the game who are not going to throw, I'd say Fat is pretty
Yeah,
high
Fata-
up that list.
yeah,
He
Fata's
never
very
goes-
high up there.
He's super conservative and stable. He like Fat and throw. I feel like you don't hear those words in the same sentence
True.
ever.
Yeah, that is true.
He's at one polar extreme, Eternal Envy at the other polar.
There's the jump and the
Yeah,
Ravage.
on the same team.
Got that lion though. And now Matama Man eating a lot of the Eclipse here. Bonk, bonk, bonk. They're going to take him down. And then there's going to be the return fire coming out. That's the Chronosphere drop. Fada on the other side. I know they were able to surround Mind Control here, but he's persistent for Ice Ice. Will be able to get it. Stone Gaze is popped. That forces Shadow back. And uh-oh for the Ogre, though. He has been petrified, and he has been slapped down. Monster kill for Fata now. And that could have been the final hurrah here for Wings as Fata begins to chunk down the racks. Ice Ice is back. Gets out the disruption. It might actually do a little bit of work on anyone else. No, Fata's going to be fine.
So
Rax goes
Lance,
down.
get Rapier. It's not too late.
I'm sorry. Shoes.
Ah,
Shoes for everybody.
shoes.
Buy
That'll
two.
be the first and only time, folks, you'll see Merlini be sad about a Booster Travel purchase.
All right. It was a 2-for-1 special, though. And
Yeah, Fada doesn't want to throw. It's reasonable.
but it's the summit. Throw.
Actually, Luna isn't even that scary with Rapier
Yeah.
because the SD.
That was the only fight they had all game where not a single beam hit the Medusa, and still the fight went very poorly.
Yeah, Matama Man actually took the full force of it.
Oh, he's going Butterfly. That's bold.
Yeah, into the,
I think you
MKB.
needed just at this point go all out damage. Like you're building damage and damage for yourself and the Shadow Demon. Yeah, there's an MKB.
They like
but, hey,
generally it's AC though. AC versus the
like ET.
yeah. I think that's like comparable in terms of damage, but
And even Medusa is MKB, so you get the armor.
yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What?
I guess another time with an Orchid. Game's going pretty good.
Okay.
Dire's
They don't
top
even need
tower
Butterfly.
has
You can
fallen.
build Bloodthorn soon.
It's okay, we got Blade Mail tied twice.
Desperate times. Here we go. It's his final little uniform for this defense.
There's some weird items flying around.
Okay, long jump, in and out. Clears out the wave. Fata's happy to
touch.
see it from the low ground. Thank you, Dragonlance.
Just gonna kind of bait the line in.
Oh,
the
they
line gets in.
foreshadow in and foreshadow out,
just
but he
bought
gets
the
fingered.
Butterfly, yeah, no buyback. He just bought out Butterfly.
And, okay, we're going to have no Luna for this final hurrah from Wings. Let's see what they can do. Jump in, jump out. Anything they can to try to slow it down a bit, but there's going to get the disruption. But jumping from Mind Control catches the two supports, and they'll quickly take them both out. Oh, Earth Splitter there at the end is the icing on the cake, and that's going to be the game.
Bam.
Wings throw in the towel, and it was Liquid Gaming who will secure game number 1, this best of 3.
Yeah, very nice game from Mind Control.
And Fada.
Yeah, fun too.
Actually, kind of everyone except for Matama Man. Once I think about it. But he did his job.
He just tanked the ganks for the team.
I mean,
you
that's just Dota. Like any team, you're always gonna have one player who doesn't play their best game in a given game, and like the top teams have other players who will step up when that happens. So, not pointing fingers really, just stating facts.
8-0-22 Void.
Yeah, he was
Seems
amazing on that
Yeah.
Void. Oh my.
Good game from Senior Mind Control on this one. So your Wings now, gentlemen. Walk away from this game. How do you approach game number 2 now?
Well, SD doing it. Didn't work. Let's go back to another strategy.
Husker,
That's
Drow's getting banned, so go for the Husker maybe.
Pudge versus the Void. I would like to see a little bit more.
That'd be awesome.
Even the Kunkka versus the Void. I think like they went into the game thinking, okay, we're gonna SD +1 cheese them, and then like we're like, well, we've seen this before. We know how to handle the illusion spam. We're
I can
gonna
see Mitoma here. He
out-teamfight you.
doesn't
It's
look.
like,
I
I
mean,
can't believe I did so bad on Timbersaw.
maybe just tired, but I think he's also looks a bit visibly upset that he didn't play his best game.